Hello everyone and welcome to the Sad Realm. Today I'm going to showcase my updated Lyrilusc deck profile. Friendly reminder before we start to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Now this is going to be the most competitive way that you can play the deck in my opinion, but this is not budget deck profile. We're going to include the Adventurer Engine that gives the deck back the Omni Negate that it had before the ban of Simorgh. The only drawback with this engine is that you don't have the space to run a lot of hand wraps, but you run enough so you can disrupt your opponent and not decay them on the following turn. We're going to start things off with triple copies of Warbler. Still to this day this card is the best starter that you have, especially if you have the way to special summon another Lyrilusc from your hand or graveyard. Also this card is a hand wrap magnet so you can protect your Brave Engine. Moving on, we're also playing double copies of the Cobalt Sparrow. Many variants of this deck play only one copy, but you have plenty of ways to special summon it to your side of the field and trigger its effect even in the grind game. And keep in mind that it searches any level 1 Winged Beast, either hand wrap or Nerval. Moving on, we're playing double copies of the Sapphire Swallow, because now we have plenty of ways to special summon it, especially when we control the Wandering Griffon Rider to our side of the field. So even if you open this and the Brave Engine, you can easily start up your combos after that. Moving on, I'm also playing double copies of the Pearl Canary that you activate usually at the end of your combos, so you can easily go into Robin. Sadly, in this version of the deck, you don't need the third copy, and since we don't play a heavy Xyz lineup, we either use it to break boards with Zeus or use it for the follow-up. Now moving on to the last bird that we're playing is a single copy of Celestine Wagtail. It's great to have in the rotation that you can special summon it either with the effect of Ferrijit or the effect of the other birds that you have. We're also playing the single copy of TD Crow because it's searchable and it's a great interruption in this format. Moving on, we're also playing the triple copies of Birdcall because this is the best card that this deck has, allowing you to search or foolish for any missing pieces that you need, and at the same time it acts as a special summon from the hand. It is also a hand wrap magnet, especially if your opponent has Ash. They usually use it in this card, then you can continue your combos after that. Now moving on to the Tri-Brigade Engine, we're of course playing the triple copies of Fractal. Depending on your hand, you can either foolish for a small bird, or you can foolish for your Tri-Brigade Engine and easily go into your Tri-Brigade plays. And it's also a card that baits interruptions, especially if you have the piece that you need in your hand. Moving on, we're also playing a single copy of Tri-Brigade Kit and a single copy of Keras. Both of them are essential parts of your combo, and in this version of the deck the second Keras might come up often. Lastly, we're playing triple copies of Tri-Brigade Nerval. This card synergizes really well with the Lyrilusc part of the deck, especially if you have the Sapphire Swallow or Learned in your hand. Also, this card is great discard for the Fateful Adventure, so you can easily search the missing piece that you need and have another search. Now going to the Adventurer archetype, we're playing triple copies of the Water Enchantress. This is usually the card that we want to see in our opening hand, so we can banish here and search for the right of our Messer. And of course, alongside here, we're playing a single copy of Wandering Griffon Rider, and this is usually the fourth monster that you summon on your field. Moving on to the spells, we're playing triple copies of Right of Aramesir, because this card easily starts your engine and special summons the token to your side of the field alongside the Fateful Adventure. And since you play multiple engines in this deck, you don't really care if one of the engines get interrupted because you can rely on the rest of them. And the last two parts of the Adventurer engine is one copy of Dracobug and one copy of Faithful Adventure. In this version of the deck, you want to search Dracobug so you can put one card back with the effect of Bear Broom when you search for Revolt, and you can always search for Dracobug later. For the one-offs, we're playing a single copy of Called by the Grave and a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial bridges all the engines really well because it allows you to send either the Wandering Enchantress, Nerval, Kit, or any missing piece that you need to the graveyard. And the only trap that we play in the main deck is a single copy of Tri-Brigade Revolt, so we can have non-targeting banish during our opponent's turn. And for the generic cards, we're playing triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which is great against any matchup, and triple copies of Forbidden Droplet. If you don't have access to Forbidden Droplet, you can play Ghostlogger instead, that can deal well with an Adventurer package. But the main decking is triple copies of Droplet, so I can easily deal with Scythe, Old Moon Disruption boards our opponent might have. That's essentially going to wrap up the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we're playing a single copy of Robin, one copy of Starling, and one copy of Nightingale. Starling is really important in some parts of the combo, allowing you to easily search for any missing piece that you need, and it also makes your Brave token stronger. Nightingale is amazing for going second and going to Zeus, and Robin comes up in many scenarios, especially when you don't want to go into Revolt. The last two Xyz cards that we're playing is a single copy of Downward Magician and a single copy of Zeus. Downward Magician is really important because we can easily overlay the Nightingale and have a 4-material Zeus. Moving on to the Link lineup, we're of course playing a single copy of Almiraz to link away our Tri-Brigade parts, and for the Link 2s we're playing a single copy of Bear Broom and a single copy of Ferrijit. Ferrijit is really important if you open the token line because you can easily special summon the Tri-Brigade that you have in the hand, so you can easily use their effects. Now the last Link 2 that we're playing is a single copy of Dragon Lords, so you can easily bounce back your opponent's resources. For the Link 3s, I'm playing a single copy of Rugal and a single copy of Desperate Doom Mingle, so we can easily shuffle back our opponent's resources and easily go into access code. Also Rugal comes up, especially when we don't have any access to our other engines and we heavily rely on Tri-Brigades. And moving on to the link 4 lineup, we're of course playing the double copies of Shurake the Ominous Omen, because it's a non-target banished. In many scenarios you want to link it away so you can search any missing pieces that you need. It's an amazing card, and in my opinion you can't play less than 2 copies. And the 2 last link 4s that we're playing is a single copy of Access Code Talker and a single copy of Appaloosa above the Goddess. Appaloosa is essential when we go first, and with any Tri-Brigade in the hand we can easily go into Desperate to Mingle and not our opponent going second with Access Code. It's also great against the back row matchups. And that essentially is going to wrap up today's deck profile. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more videos like this, just let me know in the comments down below, and if we get more than 100 likes I can make a follow-up video showcasing the combos of this deck. Also don't forget to check the links in the description if you want to support the channel in any way, shape or form, and also consider joining my Discord server, you can find the link there as well. Until next time, hope you all stay safe and I will see you in the Shadow Realm.